I know what you're thinking, and no, this video is not just to sell you on this app because it's free. No credit card required. You can go sign up right now, bulletfinity.com. I want to talk to the creators and entrepreneurs out there, not just to inspire you on what's possible, although I hope you get some of that, but I want to walk you through exactly how I built this fully formed app in actually less than 10 days. 10 days, like part-time work. I was actually surprised how it came together once I got over a few big failures, which I'm gonna share with you. I'm gonna share how I built it, my methodologies for building things with AI, even if you're not a developer, seriously, and how I'm gonna grow it and possibly sell it one day. Yes, there is a $33 lifetime pro plan upgrade or whatnot, but it's free. You can go try it out right now. I'm gonna show you what I did and what's possible, and I hope you get inspired and learn a lot. Let's go. Okay, so here is what I built. I was trying to get something that's a little bit more video friendly right here. So this is a infinite nesting bullet point app. If you've never used one of these, there are 2 or 3 other competitors of mine. It's basically just note-taking, to-do list stuff all through here, and you can do a bunch of other stuff like upload images. You can use links, bold, italics. You can zoom in for like greater focus, and you can have all your big projects and apps in here. I have like my project-specific stuff, and then I have my resources where I keep my notes on everything in my entire life. And I'm in the process of transitioning everything over from my previous note-taking app. But this is basically what I built. And I'm actually just gonna pull up my notes to this video, which is, how I built a note-taking app. Yeah, right there, okay. So here are my notes for this video. Let's just head to the outline here. I got a presentation mode, which I thought was really cool. Okay, what I built, this is what I built. Congratulations, we're here. How did I get this idea? I have 2 or 3, actually 3 different quote unquote ways of getting ideas on a regular basis. This happens naturally. It's not something I intentionally seek out. One is scratch your own itch. I encounter problems in my everyday life. And then number 2 is something I'm calling the undercut method, which is exactly what it sounds like. There is an existing software app service out there that costs money, and it seems like something I could build. That's how I could build this. The combination of those 2 things right there, scratch your own itch and the undercut method, is how I came to start Bulletfinity. I've used Google Docs, Asana, Trello, Notion, Craft, a ton of different note-taking apps, second brain apps over the years, and I've been using Obsidian. This is where I currently have everything right now, and it's just not for me. I've been frustrated for like a year, and I just haven't switched because I'm like, I don't know what else to do at this point. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, what about those bullet point apps? I'm just gonna list off my competitors. This is a horrible way to do it. Mine's better, and mine's free, so you can go try it at Bulletfinity. But I used Dynalist and I used Workflowy. I've used both of them, and both were pretty good, but lacked some of the features I wanted. And these used to be like $4 a month. I went to sign up for them, and sure enough, they were not $4 a month any longer. They were getting upwards of like 10 and $10+ a month. And I was like, what? I'm a vibe coder, I'm an entrepreneur, why not just build my own? Had a pain point, which is I'm tired of my note-taking app. It's not working for me mentally. I'm having trouble finding things and organizing my ideas and my notes and my projects. Pain point. / oh yeah, that's right. I loved using these apps, but I stopped using them because they didn't have a couple of features. Let's go try it again. It's too expensive, or it's not even that expensive, but it's like, wait, I don't want to pay $10 a month for this right now. Build my own, which is probably a horrible idea for the average entrepreneur. But if you're going to sell something, one of these apps, then it's a fantastic idea. So that's how I got the idea for Bulletfinity. Infinite note-taking apps with a few extra features and so on and so forth. So the build phase, this is the big one, right? I want to walk through these step by step. So what did I do? I had this idea. Step number 1 was I used my own templates. So I own Code Playbook, which, yeah, I'm not gonna promo it right now. You can go sign up, it's fantastic. I teach you how to do all of this stuff. I teach you how to vibe code apps, it's fantastic. But I also have pre-made templates that I can clone in about 15 seconds, just as like the starter boilerplate code, which I can immediately start customizing. It already has Stripe. It already has the database stuff set up. It already has example home pages and headers and footers, so I don't have to like recreate this every single time. So I cloned it. It took less than a minute, and then I was up and running. So really quick, I want to mention something. I'll talk about tools more in a second. One of the reasons I let myself try and build this app was because I like talking about vibe coding tools. In fact, Code Playbook, I need that knowledge, right? I need to be the person who experiments, and I need to be an authority figure who knows the difference between Windsurf, Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, Copilot, all these tools, right? And so I went into this project experimenting with tools. I knew I was going to be trying different things right from the get-go. And so right away, I signed up for Claude Code. Hadn't used it before. Signed up for Claude Code and Tracer and a few other things. And I went in and I tried to build the app. And I would say, I said 10 days that I built this app. Honestly, the first 2, I spent a lot of time. At least several hours for the first 2 days and got nowhere. I got nowhere. It just didn't work. I tried Cursor. I tried Claude stuff, I tried GPT stuff, I tried everything. 6 or 7 different times, starting from scratch. I would try, and then I would try again, try it again, and I'd start over. Try again, start over. It just was not working. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm just done. Like, we're gonna move on. We're gonna try the next thing, but I didn't. I tried one thing. This is very technical, this is a bit in the weeds, but I think it might be helpful if you try anything like this. There's a front end and there's a back end. The back end is, for me personally, like my database. I'm gonna save all this information up in the cloud. I use Firebase, Firestore database, but it doesn't matter what I use. The database part, saving this information that just lives in a browser to the database. You have to have that if you're gonna have users, or if I'm gonna use this and have all my notes here or whatever. But that was causing a problem. Trying to build the front end, the website, how it looks, how it's designed, the functionality of bullet points, all those things, plus the back end at the same time, for this project was horrible. It didn't work. It was way too confusing. The AI tools that I was using were going around the bend, and I could have coded this manually a lot faster than the AI was taking, but I didn't want to do that, right? Like, I want AI to do these things. I'm vibe coding. This is not me becoming a developer. I don't want to do that. I probably could have, but it would have taken forever. But it was still faster than the AI was doing it, because the AI was failing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is, I scrapped the database completely until much later. It's fine now. It saves to the database. I scrapped all of that. I started from scratch and just did what is in the browser. No saving to the cloud, period. And it worked. And it worked the first time, and it was really good. I was using Claude Code exclusively, and that worked. So that was a big epiphany for me. I did that for another couple of days. I built out almost the entire app, and then finally I was like, okay, we gotta figure out how to, like, you know, have user accounts and allow them to save it to their database and so on and so forth. Just decoupling that front end and back end stuff for this project was the reason it got made. Oops, wrong app. There we go. So after this, I played around a little bit. I played around and found out that I thought it was going to work. Finally, took 3 days. So after that, and ever since then, it's just been this process that I'm about to go through the next 3 slides over and over and over again. One small feature, test it out. I didn't write that on here, but I should have. And then backtrack if it doesn't work, and then try again and try again, try again. And then it finally works, save everything, and then do another feature. I mean, that sounds simple, but that's it. That's the truth. There's a lot of testing in there. And you have to learn how to, like, prompt AI, context engineering, if you will. I've learned that stuff, and that's what I teach in Code Playbook. But it was really just this, over and over again. One small feature, test it. It's not gonna work. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with AI, and then it works, and then you save. So something I did a lot of that I've never done before is, I'm gonna open up Cursor over here on my computer. I planned. Usually I will fire open Cursor or Claude Code right here. Let me go to resume, open up some of these things. There we go. Resume conversation. I'll just pull open a random thing here. There's a big one. So usually I would just chat with Claude Code and be like, okay, here's what I want to build. You might need this file. You might need this context. Here's a little bit more, go. I stopped doing that completely with this app. And instead I started doing planning without executing beforehand, just a little bit. In fact, Claude Code actually has a plan mode, but I also used 2 other apps. I used Tracer, which is free. I think they have a paid version, but I've just been using the free version to plan out a feature and then actually go back and forth with it just a little bit until I think it's what I want, because AI doesn't know what I want. I have to tell it and then explain it more and explain it more and explain it more clearly. And then finally, I hand it off to the implementation tool, which was almost Claude Code for this specific project. So I use plan mode here. Every now and then I use tracer. Every now and then I would actually use cursor. Sorry, I know my screen's really cluttered right here. I would use cursor in ask mode, as in, I don't want you to implement anything. Don't code anything. And I would always use GPT-5 for this. I would tell it what I want, and then I would ask it, create a detailed plan. And then, I don't know, I'd go back and forth. And then finally, I would grab that, I would copy and paste it, usually just straight into Claude Code with auto edits, accept edits on, meaning it's just gonna not ask my permission, just gonna do it for the most part. And that was really helpful. I gotta say, I think that's part of the reason I built this app so quickly, really, is because I planned first before a single line of code was written, and I made sure it had everything it needed, it knew exactly what I wanted, and then I hit implement. And yeah, there were still errors, which is why we bring up the testing phase. One thing I didn't mention here, context 7. This is in the weeds, again, context 7. Context 7 is handy. It's basically, so they have an MCP server. You also don't have to use the MCP, but you can use the MCP server, which if you don't know what that is, you basically just connect it to your AI agents, and then it can go look up the stuff on its own without you like copying and pasting it in. So for me, it's my tool. I use Tailwind CSS. I use Daisy UI. Daisy UI. This is basically just documentation. Context 7 is a database full of documentation for all these different tools, a lot of which I use. Here's SvelteKit. And so you could just tell the AI, hey, go research Tailwind CSS for this. Go research how Svelte 5 does this thing. And so that saves me going and Googling like Svelte 5 runes, copy, pasting, over and over and over again. Instead, I just say, go learn about this, use context 7. That was really helpful for that planning phase. Going back here, another tool, while we're on the subject, is Playwright. You'll hear about these a lot in Vibe Code circles, but Playwright is basically this tool that lives in the browser. You can see I actually have the browser extension installed, and it basically allows Cursor or Claude Code or any of these AI agents in my code editor here to like see what's going on in the browser. It'll take screenshots. In fact, somewhere in here is a folder where it like takes a bunch of screenshots and like dumps it. Yeah, there's like a bunch of screenshots that it took, and then it analyzed it, and then it made changes. And then it went back and took more screenshots of my app, and then it analyzed it, and then it made changes. And it can also read the console logs to see if there are any errors, like when a page loads or stuff like this, right? It was really handy. You don't have to like copy and paste errors in here. You don't have to take screenshots because it just does everything for you. Pretty handy. So testing. I largely test things myself, meaning I use the app. I pull open Bulletfinity and I try and do stuff with it, and I'll see really quick, that didn't work. And then I'll tell the AI. But I do want to point out that Claude Code, more so than Cursor and also I'll argue Codex is from OpenAI, more so than Codex or Cursor, it does some testing for you. Just a little bit. It's not exactly how I would test things. It doesn't catch every error, but it does a little bit, just a few. And over time, I think that adds up when you're building a big old app, right? Just a little bit of extra testing done by it can really help. Because I think testing and security are things that vibe coders lack right now. It's like the one big part of vibe coding which we need to figure out. Anyways, that's it. I mean, that's true. I built it for free. You can go, you can sign up. You get saved to a Firestore. First of all, there's like a mostly functional editor right here on the homepage, which I thought was really cool. People could literally just start using it right now. And then when they sign up, it'll actually save anything you do right here to your account, which is cool. You start working right here without even signing up, really. But in order to save it to the database, you sign up for free. That creates an account in the database, Firebase, right? And then you log in and you just work. Even if you go to the home page, you can see I'm clicking this. It redirects me to my default bullet tree where I can zoom out and zoom in as needed and copy and paste and drag and drop bullets anywhere I need to. It's just really cool. I built in a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Well, AI built in a whole lot of keyboard shortcuts, which is mandatory for an app like this. That's half the fun, I think, as well as a search functionality, as well as, this is some pro features here. Some pro features They can actually change there's lots of different like designs and stuff. They can change the themes. They can upload images. They can go into presentation mode like I just had, and a bunch of other cool stuff there. So how am I going to grow it? A little bit different because this is a free app. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to make it like a massive thing, right? I go back to my notes here. Let's go to the outline and zoom in right here. Where did I go? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to promote it to my email list this week. I might do like a little product hunt and Reddit promotion. Where is my arrow key on my keyboard? Sorry. Product hunt and Reddit. And then I'm actually just not going to promote it at all and use the app for another couple of months. I'm going to transition all my notes over. I'm hoping to get like 20, 30, 50 customers-ish using it who will also provide feedback and point out errors and bugs, which I'm sure they will encounter. They always do. So I'm going to find those over the next like 2 or 3 months and then probably implement a subscription, a paid subscription, probably like pretty cheap, probably like $5 a month. I don't think it's going to be $1 million app, not to my knowledge, but I'll make it really cheap and go from there. My plan is a little bit different. Most of the apps that I've done are really clearly built to sell. This one was not. I have googly eyes, for Pete's sake, right? Like there's little fun, goofy stuff like this all throughout the app on purpose because I wanted to do it. It just makes me happy. Every now and then this guy, Mr. Bullet, will talk to you. You'll see that if you go use the app. But my point is, I'm not building up to sell. I don't know if anybody would buy it anyways. I'm sure they would if it were making like a ton of money. And I want to make it expensive. And so I don't think it's gonna be like a 6-figure app. It's not that I don't believe in myself. I just have enough experience where I don't see that happening. And so why not just make it exactly the way I want to? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it passive for the next couple of months, improve it, make it how I want. First and foremost, not care about customers as much, just being really honest, and go from there. So one more thing I'll point out is I have a YouTube video. It's called My Exact Blueprint for Making Money. It's on this YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. This goes over kind of not Bulletfinity specific, but rather the overall process of making money with vibe coding, which is what this is. I'm vibe coding apps, making money from most of them. Maybe not Bulletfinity, but it goes over my exact process. So I will leave a link to that video, which you should go watch. And good luck. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, go sign up for Bulletfinity. It's free and it's awesome and it's fun and it's helpful if you have a brain like mine. But even apart from that, here's what I want. I want you to put a circle emoji in the chat just for fun. If you're still with me, this is like 3 people that make it these far in the videos. If you're one of the 3 people, no joke, leave a circle emoji. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can do like one of these. The black one, yes, leave the black emoji. You can also like search for that. What is it, Emojipedia? Emojipedia, yeah. Just search for black and it'll come right up. Black circle, there it is. Grab the black circle. Mr. Bullet, without the googly eyes. And put it in the comments section. That is my call to action. I should probably have a better one. That's my call to action. So without further ado, I hope you learned something from this video. I really do. Questions or comments, you can comment those as well as the black circle. And we'll see you next time. Adios.